It's Thursday of Volunteer Appreciation Week, and I'm so excited to be able to encourage you today to remember the Ushers and Greeters Ministry. This is one of those ministries that is so integral and vital on a Sunday morning that maybe doesn't get noticed as much. But think about it, when you come to church on a Sunday morning, who is the first person you talk to? Who is the first person that lets you know that you're seen, that you're knowing you're welcomed into the church building, and they help in any way they can? They're there with a warm smile, a kind greeting, and normally a handshake, even though we're not doing that right now. They just do so much to set the stage and set the atmosphere for the church and let each and every one of us feel like we are seen and known and loved. And that's such a special thing. And especially for newcomers, just that the ushers are quick to always step in and make sure they're not lost, and make sure that everybody, whether you attend regularly or not, has found a space to sit. And they just fill in so many of the gaps and so many of the details that we just don't always think of. And I also just really appreciate that about this team of volunteers, that they are not just doing what we see, but they're doing what we can't see to help things run. And so we just want to shout out to Michael and his team and just thank them for their hard work, their service, their willingness to dive in and help in whatever way is needed. And I just want to send a special thank you to Michael, as he's transitioning out of this role as leader of Ushers and Greeters Ministry, and we just wish him all the best and where God is calling him to serve, and just thank him for his years of service in this as well. So today, as you remember the Ushers and Greeters, and even think about what church has meant to you, and even your experience, and even walking in the door, we ask that you maybe recall somebody, maybe you know some of them personally, and can reach out via text or email or phone. Or if you want to get in touch with one of them or want to pass on a note, we would be happy and thrilled to do that for you. So feel free to email office@fsjalliance.ca, and we would love to pass on a note to the Ushers and Greeters. And yeah, have a wonderful day. Today I want to invite you to remember the worship ministry volunteers in our Appreciation Week. This ministry requires a lot of hours put in by a large number of volunteers on a weekly basis. And some of those volunteers you might see on a Sunday morning because they're on stage, they're the ones singing or playing instruments, but some of them you might not see because they're in the sound booth. They're the ones pushing the buttons. I always tell them that they're pushing buttons for Jesus, and I'm going to get them t-shirts that say that, but they're just such a special group, and obviously have a special place in my life, but they are just such a group that continues to persevere. They put in blood, sweat, and tears. Sometimes they spend a lot of time on their knees preparing both their instruments as well as their hearts before they come on even a Thursday night for practice as well as Sunday morning for practice. And they do a lot behind the scenes even before the congregation gets here on a Sunday morning. And so I just want to invite you today to remember and recall those people who maybe have touched you this year, who you've seen God work through. Maybe God has just impacted you or your family or even some of your friends specifically by one person in particular, or else just even across the board. Maybe invite Jesus to show you a number of the volunteers that you can reach out and touch today, and just thank them for their service, thank them for their heart for worship, and for providing that for us as a congregation in a musical form on Sunday morning. So you can text them, phone them, email them, and as always, you can feel free to drop a note here off of the church. We would love to pass that on and consider that an honor. So today, let's remember the worship ministry volunteers.